Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Unification casts this side of East Yorkshire. And today we've got a 1 vs 1 on Deadly Fun Archaeology. Playing left hand side as the Tau Empire, we've got Profid. On the right hand side as the Shogunate Renegade Guard, we've got Kubini. Kubini will be opening up with a squad of combat engineers, double militia rangers, a Tesla reactor and a Takan field doja. And Profid is going to go for triple stealth suit teams, a jetpack research, and a auxiliary recruitment centre. So here we go, boys and girls. It's weeb on weeb action. We shall certainly be seeing who can Naruto each other's Danganronpas the hardest. I think that makes sense. I'll be honest, boys and girls, long-time viewers of the channel will understand that my knowledge and appreciation for anime is nigh on non-existent. The only anime that I've really seen is, what's it called? Violet Evergarden. A wonderful emotional story about a woman's journey and finding out what the words I love you mean. That and the program Ed, Ed and Eddie. Is it an anime? I don't know, but that's where I learned my shrewd business acumen from. Anyway, enough about anime. We've got a match to do. Got an auxiliary recruitment centre going on for Profid. So I'm actually not seeing any of the blue mushroom people. I'm actually going to see all these squiggly insect people. Unlike the vanilla version of the game, rather than getting both kinds of units from the Tower Recruitment Centre, you now either build the Tower Building or the Not Tower Building. And so Profid is going to go for the Not Tower Building, which is interesting against the Takan, mainly because these guys are quite competent in close combat compared to other Imperial Guard-styled factions. So, I mean, will it work? Will it not work? Who knows? We are going to see the... What are you called? You are called the Eternal Shogun. She's going to come out, very competent melee combatant. And we're also going to see a THK War Correspondent, which gives buffs to everyone nearby and all that stuff. Vespid Stingwing Strain normally come out and start bashing buildings, but they are denied this little bit here and there, which is always good and proper. Militia Rangers attempting to fend these guys off, but another listening post being denied by these Vespid Stingwings. Also going to see double stealth suit teams attempting to get some decaps in there, but already a listening post has been placed on top. At the moment, the amount of firepower coming in isn't going to be enough to shirk away these Vespid Stingwings for long enough. There we go, that decap by the stealth suit teams, which can now... Oh no, you've always been able to get more than one model in your squad. I'm getting them confused with the missionary. Either way, the Eternal Shogun has killed them all quite dramatically, I do have to say. And so the Vespids will just decide to fly away and be more of a nuisance somewhere else with their superior maneuverability. Going to be slapping around combat engineers as best they can to prevent them from finishing off any listing post. We have one listing post finished off over here and over here as well. There's quite a tasty Tesla reactor that they can start kicking about. Also got that discombobulation ability to help them break down buildings remarkably efficiently. And these guys are just going to ignore them. Fair enough. Which makes sense. I mean, can the Shogunate actually travel through the listing posts like other factions can? I think they can. I'm fairly certain they can. By the way, full reign these guys have. Militia Rangers will come over and see if they can do some mischief on this side, but I highly doubt they'll be able to do the exact same kind of thing. Tower Commander on the way out. We normally see him come quite early, but Profid instead going to reinforce these guys. They are quite expensive, 50 blue and 10 green. That's why he's gone for a second plasma generator on the go. So he can maintain that assault while also saving up some money for tier 2, I imagine. Comes the Eternal Shogun. All earth, wind and fire. If you ignore the earth and the fire.
Yes, Commander.
I do love the voice acting for the Vespid Stingwing strain. It's amazing how in this mod, any kind of units that traditionally don't have a voice, I've given them gives them a lot more personality and flair, I do have to say. Apart from the Necron Warriors, they get no voice. No voice for you, young man. So I don't think they do. Henry is not doing me a good job today. Happens when you get old, I'm afraid, boys and girls. Happens to us all. Either way, we've got the war correspondent there. He's going to be getting all the facts and news from the front lines. As Tower Commander runs away. Got the Tower Barracks coming online as well, as a squad of Kroot Carnivores are ready to rock on forward. The Shogun lads drawing their samurai swords. Ready to cut apart the Tower Commander. He is not feeling it. He's not enjoying it all that much. Still got the Vespids over here. Being an absolute pain. Stealth suit team ready to get the decap on that relic. All seeing some issues over here. This combat engineer wanting to build stuff up, but he can't. It's not been capped. Here comes the Crew Carnivores, and they'll be able to beat these guys in close combat. Maybe that is Profid's idea. So even though these guys are quite competent in the melee department, if he's able to outdo them, that negates their home field advantage. Eternal Shogun attempting to catch that Tower Commander off guard, but she's going to try and break down this auxiliary recruitment centre. Interesting that he's gone for the Tower Barracks there. Would have probably liked to see that been not built, although maybe actually I'd probably save that for tier 2. Just commit to the non-tower for now. That'll probably be the way forward, because that will slow down his teching up. Now we're seeing some teching up over here. Not at the moment. Everyone just in the tier 1s for now. But currently no economic damage done to the tower. Current economy has been 86 and 20 compared to 68 and 10. So while these guys are being aggressive, they are not defending their home planet. Home planet? Home side? Whatever phrase and terminology you want to use. I suppose there's one being built up over here. Something. Maybe they're just doing a long-term base trade. That might be the play that's going on here. Combat engineer almost been sniped out by that tower commander. Very low in health at the moment. Has been spotted. Oh, maybe that's what the war correspondent does. Spots him from a distance. There's all you lads. Do it for the vine. Get him dead. This enlisting post been upgraded. Over in the middle. In this contested strategic point, the militia rangers are attempting to muscle the tower off their land. Tower command extremely low on health at the moment. As the Vespids continue their reign of terror. They will hide inside the listing post, firing out as best he can. The Vespids blown up by a grenade. In fact, a couple of models knocked on their ass. Very quick squad wipe there. That will give some massive breathing room for the Shogunate. Really big maneuver, all things considered. Here comes some Tau Fire Warrior teams. To fire at these militia rangers. They're in the heavy cover, but they are capping units. They are a little bit shite, but being left spared even by the mercy of this Fire Warriors. Got 2 squads of them now. And tier 2 is now on the way for them. Tower Commander getting some shots off on the flanks as the stealth suit team gaggles away. And it's quite a strong position for the Shogun at the moment. Sure that they're lacking in the economy at the moment, but they've got plenty saved up. Still no tier 2s for them? No, not at the moment. They have got their Renegade Tactica online, so potential for upgrades, although in saying that, they don't get any weapon upgrades each. As far as I'm aware, each individual infantry unit for the Shogunate are basically, they come out as they are, so there's no flexibility in their infantry compositions, unless of course you buy different particular squads, like the Ballista, Maidens, and all that stuff. Fire Warriors being blasted even though they're in heavy cover. The blue lasguns and the zappy doodad firepower of the Eternal Shogun. Not terrible in a ranged scenario are these Takan people, especially when falling back to a defensible area with some shooting bits on. Crew Carnivores massively overextending themselves, brought down to low numbers. They've also not been munching down on dead bodies, which they do have plenty of floor lasagna to be scoffing. And you can't underestimate how much of a bonus that ability has every time they eat. It's not just benefiting those guys, but any future Crew Carnivores that come online are massively benefited. Quite often, or maybe not quite often, because a lot of the time you'll see the Tau take up into vehicles. But it is perfectly viable for the Tau just to stick with Fire Warriors and Kroots. Kroots being big and beefy after eating some stuff, being the front line. Fire Warriors providing that firing support. We are seeing a TX4 Piranha Skimmer. Light vehicle, armed with a fusion blaster, breaking down vehicles. There's no vehicles here for him to break down. So it might be an idea to send him off on a little bit of a mission and break down all this stuff over here. We are seeing one Piranha Skimmer doing something like that. Also these stealth suit teams, which again, much like stick on the tier 1 boys. Crew Carnivores, Fire Warriors, and then the stealth suit teams for their fusion blasters to break down any vehicle argy-bargy that come their way. Takan now being surrounded. Are falling back. Bit of a dangerous situation. If they fall back any further, they will be in that negative cover. Tower Commander a little bit healthier now after a bit of health regen. Also armed with his missile launcher and heavy flamer. Should anyone come too close. Terminal Shogun being focus fired by that Piranha skimmer. Might potentially go down. Not a brilliant situation for her. They will also lose that buff that she gives, which I don't know what her buff is actually, because whenever you look at the tooltip for her, it doesn't actually mention it. I'm running on the assumption something good. But she's dead, so they all lose the morale, kind of like the Tau when they lose their Blooming Ethereal. They've lost their waifu, and no amount of body pillows is going to make them feel satiated. Home Engineering attempting his best. He's just trying, bless him. But outnumbered and outgunned. No match for the Tau in this scenario. Here comes Tier 2 to replace their Shogun with another one. So is she really eternal? Or is she just recyclable? These are the questions that keep me up at night. They're the things that make me go home. The Fire Warriors, who are just not doing a great job, are they? Can't fire on the move. So when they're on the move, they're not firing. Not what they want. Got plenty of stealth suits. The only detection that they've got, really, is that long-range scanner. Whatever detected these guys, probably them being too close to the listening post. Oh, listening post dead, and so these Takan warriors. And so finally, the Tau can now capture all this stuff over here. Still plenty of money for the Shogunate to spend on other bits and bobs, should they choose. Now going to go for a Takan mechanized command. And how are the Tau doing on the economy? They've got more income, but they've got less saved up. Probably spending it on, well, I suppose they're spending it on these Piranha Skimmers and reinforcing their Fire Warriors. Piranha Skimmers very, very cheap, all things considered. Listening post on the southern side, falling foul, but this contested point is being stabbed about by listening post, giving them the old London hello. At the moment, the army's just kind of ignoring each other, just focusing on each other's economies. Here comes some tank busters, able to hide in the ground if they want to. Much like the Tau's drone abilities to go underground. So quite a lot of parallels, actually, between these two factions. He's dead. He's also dead. Got a Tetra Scout, which is probably even more weedy than those Piranha Skimmers. Will not be able to stand up to too many volleys from these tank busters. And also got the Ballista Maidens. So kind of like the Eldar, really, in a lot of ways. Well, against Tier 2, they've got specific infantry units for specific jobs. Outside of their very narrow field of expertise, they're a bit shite. But wombo combo them together, they provide a mighty firing line. Some stealth suits jumping over here. These guys will hide in the ground. No one can see them. And no stealth detection until they get the Pathfinders or some more Vespids. At the moment, neither nor of them. The Takan of the Shogunate once again. Fire team having to run away as they activate some go fast reduce ability. I assume also increases their melee damage. Just a honest guesstimation here, boys and girls. Tank busters being blasted with no recourse, no ability to react. They will get more friends out, which is nice for them. Long range scanner spotting the stealth suit teams, but they'll just jump out. So nice reaction time from Profid, but he does not have a very convincing firing line. Almost the same kind of range these Ballista Maidens have to the Fire Warriors. Will charge forward in a glorious charge, losing a fair few of their models. Skimmer on the flanks, and that charge being shot down very quickly, almost losing an entire squad there. Ballista Maidens now been flanked by vehicles, which they do not want to be fighting, but a lone duo of tank busters sneaking on over, and even a small amount of them to almost take out a full skimmer. One more shot, there we go. He's out for the count, and the Tau do not have much money to play with at the moment. They have not been upgrading their listing posts, apart from this one over yonder. They're going to go for Pathfinder team, which I suppose with their vision will grant the Tau Fire Warriors some more firing space. Shogunate is dead once again. One lonely tank buster. The second squadron of Ballista Maidens. And yet, even Kubini is going to go for some total mobilization research. With all his... Oh no, you haven't really upgraded your bits and bobs much neither. Okay, well, fair enough. Is that the second upgrade? No, that's the first blue money upgrade. So maybe you've just not been spending... Maybe you've just been better at keeping your units alive and not having to reinforce them every 5 seconds. Maybe that's the thing that's going on here. The target being found on the Ballista Maidens, massively increasing the overall range damage they take in. Militia Rangers being joined by the War Correspondent. And at the moment, bit of a standstill. It's a bit of a difficult situation when you've got two kind of unit compositions that really specialise in a defensive long-range fight. Those few seconds that it takes to get into firing distance and set up can mean the difference between winning and losing a firefight. So these guys are going to be the ones to get those first few shots off. I do believe that they're quite outnumbered. They do have their Fire Warrior Chasseurs that will drastically increase the overall damage that they can output. There's something going on. Have I got my headphones on backwards? Oh, it's down here. Right, okay. Got new headphones, and they're apparently really good at making, like, stereo sound really stereo. So sometimes I'm confused as to where the sounds are coming from relative to my position on the battlefield. Just another thing to confuse me. Add some spice to the casts. Some hot shots on the flanks. Militia Rangers firing away at the stealth suits. Well, I've been spotted by that War Correspondent. Long range scanner. And the Tau looks like they're going to abandon this point. 131 and 40 compared to 97 and 40. But Tau have got plenty of green money saved up. So, in this circumstance, as I've said many a time before, if you've got too much green money and not enough blue, then vehicles are your friends. But I don't think, actually, in all fairness, those tank busters, unless of course you've got something to take care of them, that'd be a bit difficult to go vehicle heavy. But some good shots over here. An upgraded listening post been taken care of, but not enough. It seems like with every passing moment, Shogunate increase in number, whereas the Tau kind of engage in something, they lose a couple of models and then spend all their money on reinforcing those models. They have gone for full scale war research, vehicle beacon on the way. There we go. That's what we want. And the stealth suits doing a cheeky maneuver. You might be able to move towards our base, but we can move towards your base twice as fast. And we're apt at destroying buildings and vehicles. Because with stealth suits, you need to basically move as a unit, as a big conglomerate to be able to see us. So that gives the Tau a little bit of room to maneuver here. Listening post, slow but surely been shot down. But those Ballista Maidens, harsh mistresses in the field of war. Look at those guys just dying pretty much instantly. One squad of Fire Warriors going for missile barrage upgrade. The TY drone. Right, okay, that's interesting. That's quite an expensive unit, though. Normally, I see a drone harbinger when they've got plenty of money saved up. Oh, man, have I got... sorry, hold on a second. I think I've got my headphones on backwards. This is a huge pain in the backside. Much. There we go, right. So, it's not that the stereo's confusing. It's just that I'm wearing them on the wrong ears. Oh, my goodness. Well, there we go. I'm a professional at this, boys and girls. I've been doing this for nearly 2 years now. Well, 2+ years at this point. Yeah, drone harbinger. So, again, I mean, they're able to summon forth a hell of a lot of, well, Harbinger drones, but they're not cheap. They're not cheap at all. You only really get this if you were really far ahead in your economy. You had nothing to spend it on. He's gone for a Skirmishes missile gunship. Quite a powerful ranged piece of kit, especially if they can get those blue missiles dead on an infantry formation. Absolutely devastating firepower that they're able to bring to bear. Throwing it straight on those tank busters, but just getting away in the nick of time. And how many drones are you building? Are you building any drones, are you, young man? Just going to go for a Devilfish troop carrier, so one of each of the Tower Tier 2 vehicles. Throwing some smoke over these guys, which I assume prevents them from seeing stuff. Does it? Nope, does nothing. Just makes it all Gorillas for the Mist-esque. Not much else coming on apart from that Devilfish troop carrier. Blister Maidens just murdering these Tower Fire Warriors. No remorse. Got one lonely Harbinger drone over here. And a black hole of all things. Just doing some badness to those Tower Fire Warriors. There's Southern Chimera. Able to stealth about. Also jump, I do believe. Time Busters coming on the southern side. Putting pressure on that listening post. So I've got to buy something. They've got the money, they've got the cash, but they've got a skeleton's crew of an army at the moment. There's a Shogunate that decides just to push in right now. Oh, but a couple of good missiles. Not quite killing them all. It doesn't take too many tank busters to do some serious damage to a tank. Southern Chimera jumping on over. Getting the high ground. There's a reference there. Something, something, you underestimate my power. Something, something, I hate you. There goes that Skyway missile gunship. That is a doorknob, just like these drone harbingers. And how much do you cost? They won't tell me. It's not cheap. Especially on the green money department. What is it, something like 30? We're counting? Yep, about 30 per drone. And there we go, blame the hotkeys. That's what I like to see. That's what I like to see indeed. It's not the poor choice of vehicles, it's definitely the hotkeys. Well, let's be fair, Profid does know the tower quite well, so maybe it was an accident. They got the drone harbinger out and he just stuck with it. Which, you know, you've got to respect. But yeah, I think it could have gone either way if it was just for a better selection of vehicles. Tank busters, though, really coming in clutch there, being able to destroy basically anything that they came across. But, I mean, maybe if that Skyway missile gunship was, I don't know, maybe it positioned those bloofers a little bit further back, doing a little bit more damage to them, might have been able to snipe them out a little bit more, and then if there was no anti-vehicle stuff from the Shogun Empire, they would then been able to come over and basically, well, I mean, the tower would be able to come over and murder them. But a really solid opening from the Tower Empire with those Vespid Stingwing strains, doing a lot of economic damage, but the Shogunate just being able to be a lot more cleverer in their spending and stuff, and just coming out on top in the end. So yeah, so thank you so much, boys and girls, for watching at home, and if you want to support the channel, have a look at the old Patreon. £1 a month gets you once a game a week, and there is also Discord, where Discord things happen. Linked in the description as always. My name's been Mr. Landshark, pleasure as always, never short, and I'll see you in a bit. Peace.